In a strange twist of fate, the Thunder Dragon channel, that just had a Thunder Dragon based ban list come out, has a Thunder Dragon deck profile ready to go for the new Thunder Dragon format. Yeah, ban list just dropped, and I'm pushing this deck list out as fast as I can because this deck is going to be really popular, and I think that I have a really solid build going into this next format. So I want to get it out there as soon as possible, so let's get right into it. Still 3 of all the main Thunders. This has not changed. It will likely not change. I mean, the only difference now is that, like, Titan is a lot more valuable to the deck than it was in the past, because, like, Orcust is probably going to be still one of the better decks this format, even though the Nightmare Shenanigans isn't a thing anymore. But now they just have to make, like, Curious to send Harp, and then they can extend that way. So, like, you'll see a lot of Azathoth shenanigans in the Lunalight Orcust deck, but other than that, all the Thunders, still 3 against every deck, is pretty solid. And yes, I do realize these are not super anymore. I'll get into that at the end of the video, off of between what happened between now and the previous deck list. Anyway, 3 Solar to round up the actual monsters you're going to put on the board. This is better than Luflupine. I don't play it anymore because, like, I don't play this deck to be a long-term sustainability deck. I play this so that it is a turn 1 combo and then set up turn 2 and turn 3 recovery plays. So, like, having Duo in hand. Most boards will end with a Thunder Dragon Fusion Engrave or a Duo in hand, so that way you can continue to create boards going into the next turn. So I don't play Luflupine anymore for that reason. For hand traps, this is actually different than the last time. I'm maining 3 Ash, 3 Ogre, and then I'm no longer maining any shifters, and I went to go for triple DD Crow. Striker is no longer a big deck, at least in my opinion. It's not going to be as hard of a matchup as it was in the past. So, like, the only thing that deck can do now to, like, break a board is Mystic Mine you into, like, impermanence for 5 turns, and then just keep the what's the word? Keep the pressure on in that time, and just hope maybe they'll deck you out. But in the meantime, you'll be drawing in your side deck stuff. So this is, like, again, this is for really, like, big Orca stuff. We also see a lot of pendulums where I'm at, and this actually helps a lot. Hitting out stuff for the Pisty plays and the LP plays, like hitting a Brotar can matter every now and then. And even in the mirror, this has a lot of decent use where you can banish the fusion, so that way your opponent can't search if you're under or if you don't have access to Colossus. This is still really good, and I'm going to probably play it at 3 in the future. For the spells, 3 Desires, because it's Pot of Greed. I mean, there's no reason not to play 3 in this deck. I mean, everything in the deck is at 3, is a 3 of, except for Duo, which arguably you don't even need. So, yeah. 3 Allure, like, I'm playing 3 DD Crow in the main now, so, like, this doesn't feel as terrible as, like, in the past when I just was playing a Luflupine and nothing else, other than the Thunders. So this is a lot more solid now that I'm playing a lot more Darks. 2 Fusion, I've played 3 in the past. I think 2 is actually just the better number now, because, like, this is just better to have. Like, you can already loop this on its own. You just need 1 copy of it to have the infinite loop, so you don't need any more. And hitting this off Desires doesn't kill you, because you'll still have a ton of counter ability. 2 Institution, I cut this down to make room for the 9th hand trap, which actually wasn't DD Crow, it was actually the 3rd Ogre. Unfortunately, that gold rare one. Ugh. Anyway, this isn't as big of a deal anymore, because you don't need to extend against Orcus as much as you used to. You don't have to play through the big, huge Guard Dragon boards, like hitting out, or getting rid of, like, Hot Red and some other shenanigans. You can really just be fine with just having 2 of this, and you don't really want to use more than 1 in a duel, so. The last 2 cards, 1 Reborn and 1 Gold Sark. This is another Hawk, and this is just literally Rhoda for your entire deck. So why would you not play this? That is it for the main deck. Going on to the extra deck. It is basically the same, except I don't believe I was well, we'll get to it when we get to it. 3 Colossus. I mean, why would you not play 3 of this? 3 Titan. Like I've said in the past, I actually think that this is a really good card, and I think that having the infinite looped and not having to return this off of Fusion every single time is really nice. It allows for a little bit more flexibility just to be playing the 3rd, so having the 3rd's just been really nice, so I continue to play it. 1 Kaminari, this 100% should be an OTS Super. Thousand Eyes. You can honestly cut this probably now. You don't really need it anymore, except now it's a free link 1 if you have Instant Fusion, so this isn't too bad. Lanflinkus, this will be that new card we're getting in, what's this set? It's that new Link 2 that whenever you Fusion Summon, you can Special Summon a level 4 or lower from your grave. So after that comes out, this will be cut 100%. Otherwise, this could be B-Cop, this could be Lambda if you're playing Gammas in the side, this could be just basically any generic Link 2. Otherwise, this just works for me. I don't really need B-Cop in here. I've not found much use for it outside of one actually really weird scenario with Thousand Eyes where so Instant Fusion will check to see if this can be blown up, and then since you have the B-Cop counter on it, it won't blow itself up. So you can just keep this on the board for another turn, which is really nice. One Kribo to get rid of your Matrix for the weird bricky plays and getting rid of your Thousand Eyes Restrict. It's narrowed down, it's fine. This is the most flexible spot, is the Borrelsword. I decided to play Borrelsword over Borreload or Apapalooza because I wanted something that I can make late game that can basically just seal out a game. If I'm grinding, this is something I can just make and then just, it'll keep itself on the board. If I have any extra resources, I can make a Colossus or a Titan, so this is really nice. And anytime you have access to the Link 4, especially now that Striker is basically out of the picture, this is just a really solid option to go into, just so you can kill your opponent. Unicorn Phoenix, the two most basic ones, and then 2 Summer Summoner. This is real basic. I mean, this just says you can turn any 2 monsters you control into anything else. So, yeah. Yeah, the main deck has not really changed a whole lot, but the side deck has actually seen a couple different things I wanted to test. So for one thing, I'm siding the 3 shifters over maining them. So in the matchups this is really good against, like the Mirror, or say... Orchest or Pendulum or even Striker to some extent. This is actually just not bad. The only thing that you don't ever really want this for is the Mirror, because like Solar plus this is any combo, and if your opponent has this, or if you have this and you go and hit it against your opponent, it's really bad. So like the only thing that this stops is that you're guaranteed to have no cards in your opponent's graveyard when you go to kill them. So yeah, that's something, but it's not really that great in that matchup. You'd rather just side in the Lancias. Like, there's no reason not to. This thing's basically just good against everything, so... 2 Paper Tops. I got the third one to try something. I wanted to try a number 90. So the theory with this card is actually it's an out to Nibiru. So going first, instead of... If you open Hawk plus Roar, or excuse me, Hawk plus Solar, instead of making triple Colossus, you actually make double Colossus, or you make Colossus plus this, or if you have a Fusion in hand, you can actually make a Titan with this. So you just extend through the normal Solar plus Hawk combo until you get to make your first Colossus. You go Tribute the Dark, Summon Colossus, Dark Surge Duo, and then you go Summon Duo, overlay into this, and then if you have any other extenders like a Fusion, you make another Colossus or a Titan, and then you turn your Summer into a Colossus. When you summon this and your opponent tries to Nibiru you, it's already too late, because this thing can negate the activation of monster anywhere. Yes, they'll keep the monster, but the fact that you know that they have Nibiru will make it unlikely that they'll actually use it. For one thing, after you make this, your opponent's going to have their turn, and they're not going to want to Nibiru their whole board just to get rid of a couple Colossus, because usually you can just recover from it and then just kill them. Also, this thing works on both players' turns, so you can like just negate some random thing. If it's not negate, or if you don't get Nibiru'd, this thing is just a 2,500 or 3k booty that's a free monster negate. Which is really nice. So I'm testing this, and it's seen a little bit of success, but it's mostly because of the surprise value. People don't expect you to play this. So what you'll usually do is, say you're going against Orchest. You side in this, and then you side in the 3 Lancia. Your opponent's expecting you to be siding in Super Poly with Super Poly targets. So they'll counter side that, but you'll choose to go first, and then you just slam this on the board, and then your opponent can't Nibiru you. And if they don't have the Nibiru, then you just negate their Galatea. So that's really good. I've tested it; it's been really nice. 3 MST. This is Twin Twister. I do not own Twin Twisters at this point, which I'll get into in a second. And then 3 Cobble Grave. This should be basically any flex spot. These should be evenlies. Basically what happened is after my deck got stolen, I had to, not only did my deck get stolen, and not only did I have to start paying for college stuff, I actually have my car starting to break down. So I had to sell Pure Thunder after I recovered from the YCS. So yeah, These are just basically going to be different staples after I get them again. I picked up some other random stuff I'm going to trade and hopefully get Evenleys and Twin Twisters and a third Pankratops. So yeah, that's it. It's really standard, with the exception of the side deck shenanigans. I really wanted to go into that. It was a lot. It was really interesting to go into, and I have a lot of people telling me it's probably a really bad idea. And in hindsight, it probably is, but who knows? Maybe going in the future, I'll continue to play it. Anyway, that's it for the profile. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. I'm also getting really close to 400 subs, so if you guys would leave a subscription, that'd be really cool. I love talking about stuff like this in the comments, so if you have any comments or anything you would like to discuss about the deck in the comment section, I would love to go out with you people. Otherwise, have a good time. I'll see you guys later. Peace.